Hello there and happy Monday. I am currently grading your papers, just kind of sad because it's very nice outside and I'm really tempted. But instead, I'm going to keep grading, so you can watch for those. I'll try to have them all done by tomorrow. So far, they look very good, very pleased with what you guys have done. So this is kind of exciting. I want to mention just a couple of things as we begin this second week and essentially the second unit. Um, the next step is the research for the capstone essay, which is interchangeable with researched argument. Okay, your researched argument is your capstone essay, which is ultimately a culmination of everything that we're doing. So we've just spent all this time evaluating someone else's argument. And the purpose of that was, I think, as I told you, to understand the strategies, the methodology, the structure, the content of a found argument, and to critique it, which is what I'm seeing you all do in your rhetorical analyses. Now that you know what an argument looks like, you can sort of employ some of those stronger tendencies or strategies. You'll be able to identify when you're not making such a strong argument, or ultimately that's the goal. And that's what I want you to start thinking about, or you will employ anyway, when you write your own researched argument. Okay, that's not to say that we're not going to read more arguments, because we are, or you're not going to view many more arguments, because you will, but it's just to kind of put it into place. What I want to talk about briefly is your topic selection for the capstone essay. It is critical that you choose something that you care about, at least on some level, something that other people care about as well, because you have to do some secondary research, and something that's manageable. I've mentioned it multiple times, and I know when I say, oh, it's only an 8-page paper, you're all grimacing and panicking, but in all honesty, 8 pages isn't that long to cover something that might be more extensive. So you can't cover huge global issues necessarily in an 8-page paper. So I want you just thinking about some things. I don't want you to just go and do Google top argumentative topics, because you're going to get all those token arguments, and I'd prefer you think genuinely about something you care about. So keep processing along those lines. Then you have to run it through the arguable issue checklist. Sorry, I had to think of what I was trying to say there. So you have to go through. It's actually posted inside that second module. It's under annotated bibliography, the essay number 2. You'll see that you have to answer all those questions, and if your topic doesn't fit inside of that, then you might want to reevaluate or restructure or redirect, something along those lines. You also need to think about how you would frame the issue in a question, okay? In other words, if I wanted to know, let's say that I'm really appalled by texting and driving. Not suggesting this, just saying as an example. My issue question might be something to the effect of, should texting and driving be prosecuted more heavily, be enforced more strongly, something along those lines. And then what I would do is work through the research, and that's what the annotated bibliography is about. Yes, I want you to learn how to write an annotated bibliography. More importantly, I want you to understand that the purpose of that annotated bib is to build a body of research that helps you develop a position, support, strength for your argument, which would be the capstone essay. So it's all part of the same process. It's not like annotated bib one thing, capstone another. The idea is that all of the research that you're doing for that annotated bibliography is going to empower you. It's going to give you, sorry, we just got a new kitten. It's going to give you the opportunity to grow your knowledge in the field. And for many people, you'll also you're going to be learning a lot more, but you may be changing your mind. You may be reconsidering different perspectives, and that's the purpose of it. So that's what I want you thinking about. I am going to preview, and you will do a peer response on the annotated bibliography once we get there. It's going to take a little bit longer because just the research part of it takes some time. That's why I'm sort of pushing you to decide on a topic by tomorrow evening. I think it's important that you have something in mind so that you can begin that research process. In a traditional semester, we'd spend a lot more time, I guess, diving into a lot of different topics, but for 5 weeks and for this many papers in that short a period of time, you really do have to press yourselves a little bit on this one. So you're going to post your topic or topics. If you have a couple and you're just not sure what you want to do, throw them out there and see what the other, what your classmates have to say, because you will be responding to 3 other peers' potential topics. So you might ask them questions, or you might just provide some comments, or maybe you say, oh my gosh, I just read the most interesting article on this, and you can guide them then to that. And then I will also be providing some feedback on that. So the annotated bibliography will then ask you to identify a number of sources, different types of sources, 2 of which will have to come from academic sources, so from peer-reviewed journals. I've posted links to our library's databases, and there's an entire unit there, module, I guess, attached to that link that explains what peer-reviewed research is, what scholarly journals are, what academic research is. I will also be talking more about that as we move through this next week. Okay, so for now, I know you're working on your blogs, many of you, for tonight. Those are pretty simple. I know they're nice and informal and require a little less of you, but I do want you thinking about your paper topics. Don't be afraid to start researching now. See what interests you. See if it does in fact interest you. Maybe you think you're very interested in a topic, only to find when you start researching that maybe not. Okay, or maybe something else gets churned up when you start researching. So I'm going to encourage you to start surfing around a little bit and take advantage of this first day to, break into something that interests you. I will tell you, if you don't care about the topic, you will not write a good paper. Okay? Like if you choose something just because you know there's a lot of information out there, you can create a good argument, that's swell, but honestly, if you don't care about it, it will be fairly obvious to your reader that you don't, and there will be something missing. So use this as an opportunity to figure something out. Maybe there's something you've always wanted to know more about, and this will give you a chance to do that. You can become a little bit of an expert on this one topic. Okay, as always, if you need anything, you know where to reach me. I will be available, and enjoy this day, and I'm going to get back to your papers.